Hey guys, welcome back. So today we are testing out a new drugstore brand. Now I know I just uploaded a video like this testing out Joah Beauty, so I'm really sorry that this is kind of like trailing that one, but this brand came out, I finally saw it in my CVS and I had to try it out. So I picked up, I think a full face, probably not, but close enough. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. So the brand that we are testing out is called Joah, Joah, J-O-A-H. I don't know how you say it. It's inspired by K-beauty, so I don't know if it's like a Korean name or I don't know what it is, but it is in CVS. It's the only place I've seen it, and it's fairly reasonably priced. I got a lot of stuff and I only spent $100, so that's pretty cool. I think the only main thing I didn't get was a setting powder, but they have a massive line. They have 3 foundations, they have eyeliners, lip liners, they have 3 different shades of setting powder, a white, a yellow, and a peach. They have 4 different mascaras. So they have a massive line. It's crazy for like a first launch of a brand new brand to like do everything all at once. It's crazy. The packaging is kind of cute, but it also kind of reminds me of Claire's. But we're gonna dive right in, start putting stuff on our face, and I'll tell you the prices as we go and kind of explain stuff as we start putting it on. So let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to start with the primer. This is the Selfie Ready Pore Minimizing Primer. They had a couple of different ones. They had this one, they had a mattifying, a hydrating, and a radiance primer. The radiance primer I was going to get until I saw that it was like a clear liquid with actual flecks of glitter in it, and I just knew that was going to be a hot mess, so I passed on that one. And I really couldn't justify buying another hydrating primer, so I went with Pore Minimizing. Your basic white primer. It's definitely not what I would think of when I think of Pore Minimizing. That really worked though. Wow. It's not like your typical pore minimizing primer where it's got that like dimethicone feeling. It's not like the Professional at all. It's actually kind of moisturizing and still gives a really nice glow to the skin. That looks really nice. Okay. Starting out strong. I like that. And then they have the Truly Yours Natural Finish Foundation Drop. So this foundation comes in 12 different shades and it is $8.99. The primer is also $8.99. So I of course got mine in the lightest shade with, oh my, I can't speak, which is Porcelain. So I'm going to pop this open. So it's in a really nice frosted glass bottle with a dropper applicator, which I really don't like these packaging things. The droppers, I really don't like it. It's very liquidy, like really liquidy. So we'll see how this works. Online it says, look flawless and ready with a little boost from yours truly. Lightweight coverage, the soft matte foundation enhances your complexion in every way. Hydrating, brightening, smoothing, accentuating your youthful glow, you name it. Okay, so first of all, this is a fantastic shade match for me. That never happens. This foundation looks fantastic. Like, it's got a little bit of dew. Of course it is, you know, pretty fresh, so we'll see how that dries down, but it's definitely like light coverage, but it just kind of evens everything out, gives it a really nice like smooth look. And you could definitely probably build this up. We're gonna test that out in a minute. Okay, so this is one layer. I suppose I should bring y'all in. Sorry, let me do that. Okay, get a little bit closer now. So this is one layer on my face. I did use quite a bit because I didn't realize how far it would spread. But this actually looks really nice. It looks a little heavy right between my brows and on my nose, but I think that could be avoided just by using less. So it looks really nice. but you know, I'm gonna have to try and build this up because I'm just a full coverage kind of girl. And try and build it up on the cheek area, because that's where I have the most of my acne right now. Oh my goodness, that's where I have the most of my acne at all times, but it's not really building. You can still see the acne through it, the dark spots and everything. Yeah, I don't think I would say this one is buildable. It's just a nice light coverage, but there's nothing wrong with that. So they have two different concealers that I picked up. They have the Truly Yours Dark Circle Concealer, and they have the, is this all Truly Yours? No. Truly Yours Full Cover Concealer. So one is in like a squeezy tube, one is in like the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind packaging. So let's open these up. I got both of them in the lightest shade, which is Porcelain and Porcelain. So we'll see. This one seems like really, really dark, so I don't know how that's going to work, but we'll see. I'll probably just do one concealer on each eye just to test them both out. Oh, that's a good shade. Nice and yellow and brightening. You know what I realized? The one thing I didn't see from them is an eye primer. That's interesting. I wonder if there's a reason for that. Does K-Beauty do eye primers? I'm gonna bring the concealer up on my eyelid to work as a eye primer. Okay. So that looks nice, but doesn't have a whole lot of coverage. I think it did definitely help with the dark circle though. So if that's kind of like your issue, then this is definitely a good option. It just didn't cover it. It just kind of helped diminish it some. But it does look really, really nice and bright. So I could definitely see using this on like an everyday basis where I just want to, you know, make myself look a little less dead. Because it looks really, really nice. It blended in easily. It doesn't look cakey or anything. I mean, look at that difference. That's a big difference. So I like this one. We'll keep testing it out and see if it becomes a holy grail. Okay, and then moving on to the Full Cover Concealer. Yeah, this is just a squeezy tube. I feel like this is going to be real thick, so I'm going to try and use a light hand. We'll see. 3 little dots. We'll see how much that equates to. Again, super like light and brightening. I was not expecting that. I thought the shade was going to be way too dark, but that's actually a great shade for me. I don't know that I would call this full coverage. I think it has, actually I don't know if I'd say it has more coverage than the dark circle one. Let's try some more. It's very thick though, like these dots are not moving anywhere. But it blends out into a really like lightweight, nice, not super thick and heavy kind of feeling. Wow, that one looks really nice too. So I think the brightening effect of this one is helping conceal the dark circle more, but it's really not full coverage because my little freckle right here is still very much alive and well. So I don't think I would call this full coverage. It's definitely good coverage, and if you go in with a corrector first, I think you could definitely make it look like full coverage because it does really, really diminish that dark circle, which is crazy. Even more than the dark circle concealer, just because it's so brightening. But it looks really, really nice. It doesn't look heavy or cakey. It's got a little bit of dewiness to it, so it's making it look just really like healthy. The dark circle one I think has like fully dried down and still looks really nice, but I feel like this is much more of like a glam makeup concealer versus this one, which is more like an everyday concealer. But both look really, really nice. The full cover concealer is $5.99 and comes in 6 shades. And the dark circle concealer is $7.99 and comes in 5 shades. Okay, so moving right along, like I said, I did not get their setting powder, but I don't think I really need it. I feel like on an everyday basis, I would probably set down this full coverage concealer because it's a little more dewy and is staying a little tacky, but I'm just gonna kind of leave it today because I don't feel like setting it, honestly. And the foundation has definitely set down enough to the point where I feel like I could at least tap out some bronzer and everything on it and not have it get like super patchy and move it around. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna move right along to the face. So I have the Be My Everything Blush and Bronze Palette, which retails for $13.99. And I got mine in the shade Sunrise, which is the lighter version. So this is going to be one of those like gradient products where you have like the bronze down here and it kind of fades into the blush. I think it looks really pretty and natural, and I'm really excited to see how this works. So I'm going to take my bronzer brush, and I think I'm just going to swirl it all together for bronzer because the bronzer itself is very red. That's very concerning to me. That's really pretty. The powder is really, really soft, so you don't have to do much blending. It's pigmented, but not super, super pigmented, so you really don't have to worry about it like looking like a stripe or anything. Okay, so there's the bronzer fully applied. I really like this product. It's really soft, easy to blend, not super pigmented, but it has enough pigment that you don't have to like really build it up or anything. And while the powder is really soft, it's not super powdery. Like, it doesn't provide a lot of kickback, so you're not going to get a like hot mess when you dip your brush into it. It doesn't like fly everywhere and coat the entire brush. So I really, really like this. Moving on to highlighter though, we have this bad boy, which is the Be My Everything highlighter palette in light, which retails for $13.99 as well. One thing I did want to mention about these palettes is it's very cheap cardboard with clear plastic fronts here, like just little bits of film, so that's not great. You have 3 different shades here. You have a white shade, a mid-tone pink, and then more of like a bronzy gold. I'm probably going to mix the first 2 because that bronze gold one looks real dark for me, but just kind of dip into the... Now these are very soft and powdery and are providing a lot of kickback on the pan, so keep that in mind, but I mean, you can't really go overboard on highlights, so it doesn't really matter. Wow. I feel like I had the same reaction with the PYT Beauty highlighter. Like, I love highlighter. But this is gorgeous. It looks wet on the skin. Oh my goodness. That's really, really pretty. And again, there's not chunks of glitter in here. It's just the powder being so reflective. Oh my god. There's also no mirror in here, which I kind of hate. I love to have a mirror in like face palettes. Okay, so let's move on to eyeshadow now that we're pretty much done with the face. So this is the Birthday Suit eyeshadow palette in the shade Bear. They had 2 different ones. They had one that was very, very neutral, and then they had this one which looked a little more pinky rosy with a little bit more depth to it, so I went with this one. And they're all shimmer except for the brown. Great. So this retails for $9.99. It's in the same exact packaging. Why are these all shimmer? Oh my god, I hate when companies do this. But that's fine. I'm going to use the bronzer palette to add a little bit of depth in the crease, and then we'll see how these shimmers perform. Okay, so I just did like a really quick sloppy application of the bronzer in the crease there, and then I'm gonna take the, I guess, dark brown in the palette because it's the only matte. Understand that concept. And I'm just gonna take a flat stippling brush. There's no mirror. Just put a freaking mirror in. God. And I'm just going to throw this in the outer corner and into the crease. I'm doing this very sloppily, by the way, so just don't mind me. It's a really pretty color. It's not like super dark though, like I was expecting. It's more of a browny purple as well. And it really shears out as you work with it. But I don't hate it. It really kind of blends away into nothing. Which is kind of annoying. Like, there was a lot of pigment on my eye just now, and it's basically gone. And just kind of like left a ghost of itself. It's like a mauve color. Okay. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Let's try, I'm kind of wanting to play with this red right here, so I'm going to use my finger to apply that to the lid. Wow, those are really soft and buttery. Those are really pretty. Okay, let's see how this applies with the finger. I'm going to take a flat shader brush and wet that shade. Oh, there you go. Okay, so this formula likes to be wet. Way more pigment. Just looks way nicer in general. Okay, so I'm not obsessed with the eyeshadow palette. It's a little bland. It's all shimmer except for one dark brown, which y'all know I hate. The pigmentation on the brown was just kind of lackluster, and it blended out to basically nothing. So this one I would say definitely pass on, because while the shimmers are nice, the shimmers are so easy to come across in a good formula that you really don't need to pay $10 for those, because they're just not really that worth it. I would say the CoverGirl one's really nice, the Maybelline ones are really nice, lots of others. The Milani ones are amazing. Like the Milani palettes, the big gold ones, are a little bit more than that, like $5 more than this palette, and there are like bounds ahead of it, so I wouldn't recommend the palette at all. But let's keep moving. Let's jump to brows, shall we? So they have 3 different options. They have, oh no, they have 4. They have 4. So they have a couple different pencils. They have a single gel, and then they have a pencil and a gel in one. So I got the Precision Brow Pencil and the Brow Pencil and Gel, both of which I got in black brown. Okay, so that's what this one looks like. These kind of remind me of the packaging of Pretty Vulgar, where it's kind of like that pretty Victorian kind of look. And then this is what this one looks like. Very cheap feeling, honestly, like real cheap feeling. Oh, you know what? Actually, I'm wrong. I got the Precision Brow Pencil in Ebony, which this one retails for $8.99, and the Gel Pencil retails for $9.99. So maybe I'll just do one brow with each, like with the concealer. So let's see. So we got a twisty and a spoolie, thank goodness. I hate when companies don't use or don't put spoolies on their pencils. That makes no sense to me. So let me just so it's not super creamy, but it's really easy to get pigment off, if that makes sense. Like, it's kind of like, it's dry, but it's pigmented, which I feel like makes no sense, but this is making for a very quick brow. Like, despite the fact that it's dry, I don't feel like I'm like having to scrape over it constantly to get pigment off. It's just kind of like immediately showing up, which is really nice. I mean, look at that brow. That's a good brow. I like that brow. All right, so not bad. I don't mind it. Let's test the other one out. So this is a triangle shape, much thicker, like massively thicker. And then we've got the tinted fiber brow gel on the other side. So that's pretty cool. Again, super easy to get a brow like really quickly. Obviously this one is much less precise, so you're not going to get quite as a like smooth brow. Like you can see this one is much more just not as like precise and not as angled. So I can't really get a really sharp angle on it. But for like a quick everyday, I could definitely see enjoying that. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put the fiber gel in both just to see. It's a fairly big one, but certainly not the biggest I've ever seen. So I think I like the fiber gel, but I'm not quite sure, and it made my brows look pretty messy and way darker. I'm gonna need to try that out without them filled in, just with the brow gel. Sorry if you can hear my dog, he's going crazy. And see if I like that, because that's normally how I use tinted brow gels, just on their own, not on top of filled in brows. But wow, my brows look real dark right now for how little extra makeup I have. It's definitely giving that like really fluffy look though. But I don't think, if you didn't tell me, I don't think I would guess this is a fiber gel, because I don't feel like it really like thickened up my brows, and I don't feel like you can see anything that's making a difference. I feel like it just looks like a tinted brow gel. But that's just my opinion on that one. I feel like my brows look really messy. Okay, let's finish this up, because I feel like I've been filming for a very long time now. This is probably going to be a long ass video. I apologize. What do I even have left? Mascara? Lipstick? Is that it? Are we almost done? Oh my goodness. Okay, so I got the Ice Cream Volume and Length Mascara. They had 4 different options. They had the Volume and Length, they had Ultra Volume, they had Length and Define, or Volume and Define, and then Curl, I think. They had 4 different options. So whatever you like your mascaras to provide, they probably have one that will claim to do that. Not sure if they'll actually do it, but they claim it. So like I said, I got the Volume and Length. So it comes in this really pretty teal tube, quite like that. I love fun packaging like this. It just adds a nice little thing to makeup. Like, yeah, the product needs to work well, but also I kind of want the packaging to be pretty, you know? Oh my. Okay, so I'm gonna have to do a close-up of this mascara, because I didn't realize this was a fiber mascara, and this looks freaking crazy. Literally nowhere on here does this say that this is a fiber mascara. That is rude, first of all, but whatever. So I'm gonna toss this on real fast. Okay, so this is one coat of the mascara. I don't know if you can even see this, because it's basically doing nothing. And it's, wow, transferring to my under eye. That's interesting. Volume and lengthening. No. It's doing literally nothing. It's coating them in blackness, my lashes, and that's it. I'm gonna add a second layer and see how that works. This is a very, very wet formula, so be aware of that. If you don't like wet formulas, you probably won't like this. Okay, this mascara is an absolute no for me. Like, it just is doing nothing. It's a very wet formula. It's not really drying down that well. I'm going to maybe leave this out overnight, see if I can dry it out a little bit, see if I like it more that way. But right off the bat, I really don't like this. And I'm not one to like layer mascaras just to get one to work. So kind of a fail for me. That sucks. But last and certainly not least, we have lips. So this is the I'm Your Jelly Bae matte gel lipstick. I don't know what that name is about, honestly. Literally Bae, as in B-A-E. It's a little cringy. I can literally feel how wet this mascara is still. Every time I blink, it's like getting everywhere. So this is just your typical matte bullet lipstick. I got mine in the shade Honey, which is just a rosy mauve. Could you guess? Oh, that smells good. What does this smell like? Oh, this smells like something. I don't know what it is, but it smells really good. Here's the lipstick on. This is really interesting because I can kind of see what they mean by matte lipstick. Like, the actual formula is matte, but it's very like smooth and hydrating on the lips. It's very interesting. Like, it looks like a matte lipstick, but it doesn't feel like a matte lipstick. It just feels really soft and creamy on the lips. That's really nice. I really like it. I don't really get much the gel. Maybe that's what it is, the gel, but I don't know. It just feels really nice. I really like that like texture, but it is definitely giving the like blurredness of a matte lipstick. I really like that. Okay, so this is the final look with Joah Beauty, I think. Please tell me if you know how to say that word, because I really don't. So I zoomed you back out, and we are going to kind of go over everything and talk about some of my final thoughts. I am surprised by how much of this stuff that I really, really enjoy. Like, the foundation, I think, looks really great. You know, it dried down, but I think it still has quite a bit of shine to it, especially in like this area, even though I didn't bring my highlighter all the way down to my cheek. Like, my cheek right here still looks really nice and like glowy. My forehead looks really glowy. I don't look matte. I don't look heavy or powdery. I don't feel like I'm wearing a lot of foundation, which I love. I feel like it just looks really, really great. It's a really great, lightweight, medium light coverage kind of situation. The eyeshadow palette, I don't think it's worth it, honestly. It's not that great. The shimmers are pretty, but they're not amazing. The matte just kind of blended out into nothing. I really am not obsessed with this eye look, so I don't think I would recommend this one. I like the brow pencils. I think I prefer the Precision brow pencil to the triangle shaped one with the gel and everything, but I do want to try this gel out on its own, and they do offer it on its own, so maybe if I like that, I can recommend the single gel versus the pencil, unless you know, like this like big chunky pencil, in which case you might really like this option. what else? There's so much stuff sitting in front of me right now. I really like the face palettes. I think they're nice. They blend out really well. The highlighter is freaking gorgeous. I think the bronzer is really nice. It's a little orange for my taste, but mixed with the blush side, I think it's really nice. And I love the fact that it's glowy without being glittery. Like, that's just, I love that a brand got that right and did that way. So I'm gonna wear this face for the rest of the night. It's only 2 o'clock right now, so I should get a couple hours of good wear time in, and I'll come back in the night and we'll see how the foundation and concealers are holding up, what the eyeshadow's doing, and everything else. So I'll see you guys in a little bit.
Oh, I thought you were starting or something.
No, I didn't record. No, I'm just talking. Just talk.
You want me to leave?
Oh, it's fine. Okay, so it is the end of the night. I am tired. It's almost 10 o'clock. I need to go to bed. And it's looking not bad, actually. My eyeshadow is still on, which is crazy because I didn't actually prime. My foundation is looking a little rough, but I didn't set anything. It's pretty much completely disappeared around my chin. I am looking hella glowy right now because I am just a grease ball, which doesn't normally happen. Don't look at me. And you can like clearly see it breaking up around my like chin, my jawline, pretty much everywhere. It's breaking up. It needs a setting spray. It needs a setting powder. In general, it doesn't look great, but I mean, my highlight's still on, and that's really all that matters. So, I would definitely do a few things differently, but the fact that the eyeshadow stayed on, honestly, is just magical to me. Like, it's not even creased, so I don't know what that's about, but definitely had way more hits than misses. Like, there were, what, 2 products that I didn't like in this brand? So I'm pretty impressed, and for everything being super affordable, I think it's pretty awesome. I hope you guys liked today's video. Let me know down below if you've tried any of these products, if you're interested in the brand at all, and I hope you guys will check out some of my other videos. Bye!